Good day, everyone. I'm Michael, the moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone for today's webinar, which is Mastering the FDA 510K Submission Process, a Practical Guide. It's a great privilege for me to introduce our presenter for today, Dr. David Lim. Dr. David Lim is a seasoned ex-FDA regulatory expert with over 20 years of experience in pharmaceutical, medical devices, in vitro diagnostic, IVDS, and biotechnology. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, David.
Thank you. Hello and greetings. Welcome everyone to our webinar, Mastering the FDA 510K Submission, a Practical Guide. As introduced, I am David Lim, President and Principal of Regulatory Doctor at regulatorydoctor.us, and I am thrilled to have you here today. Let's get started on mastering the 510K submission process together today. So in this session, we will cover 10 key agenda items. We will start by exploring FDA device classification. We will then dive into submission strategies. You will also learn about essential technical file requirements. Additionally, we will discuss critical topics like reprocessing, sterility, biocompatibility, and the importance of cybersecurity compliance in today's digital landscape. Then we will highlight common pitfalls to avoid and share best practices, along with real-world case studies that illustrate successful regulatory strategies. So device classification and regulatory pathways. So there are three-tier system in the US, class 1, 2, 3. These are the general control that apply to all device types. Now let's talk about product classification database. So now let's talk about 510K submission strategy and substantial equivalence. The FDA's 510K submission process is a very crucial process to obtain market clearance for medical devices in the US. What is a 510K? 510K refers to the section number, section 510K of the Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act. It is pre-market notification, PN, one of the major pathways for, to bring a device unless exempted to market. So 510K purpose and role in market clearance. What is substantial equivalence? So what is a predicate device? So now let's look at 510K decision-making flowchart. So there are three types of 510K submissions: traditional 510K, abbreviated 510K, and special 510K. So now let's look at technical file requirement and documentation. In 510K, there are, typically 20 sections: technical description like design specification, material selection, manufacturing process, and then intended use and indication for use. So risk assessment and performance data. Now I'd like to briefly talk about 510K summary format. So labeling requirement, quality system, labelings, there are some definitions. So labeling requirements, UDI and instruction for use, and also the importance of quality system. So compliance with FDA and ISO standard. So now let's talk about E-Star submission system structure and execution through CDRH portal. So the use of FDA's E-Star, it is for 510K, it is. So I will give you some step-by-step guide for using E-Star. So first, I'd like to tell you E-Star 510K submission content. So these are the 510K content in actual order. So E-Star submission process, going through some key sections. So now, device description section. So now I'd like to talk about reprocessing sterility and shelf life. Reprocessing and sterility shelf life 2, regarding the guidance and special control adherence, and then reprocessing sterility shelf life 3 regarding shelf life. So reprocessing sterility shelf life, I like to give you tips for FDA readiness. guidance and special control adherence statement. Regarding, let's move to biocompatibility. Biocompatibility 2, attach biocompatibility report and documentation. Biocompatibility 3, which biocompatibility tests are needed. Biocompatibility 4. So regarding software and firmware cybersecurity interoperability. Software, firmware, cybersecurity interoperability 2. So regarding EMC wireless electrical, mechanical, and thermal safety. Then electrical, mechanical, and thermal safety summary. So EMC wireless and EMT documentation attachment, what to upload. So regarding performance testing 1, done clinical bench animal testing summary. Performance testing 2, clinical testing summary. So now the performance testing 4, where to fill the blue box. This is the way how you make a reference to. If not applicable, what wording has to provide, what information you have to upload. By doing so, there are some common pitfalls. And as part of best practices, common pitfall number 1. Pitfall number 5, poor document naming and version control. So conclusion. This conclusion, if you use it actionably, it can provide real good information, and be prepared for additional information request, and then use a final review checklist internally and verify ESTA completeness before uploading to CDRH portals. So this concludes my presentation. For example, I am providing ISO 13971 risk management and compliance strategy, and then case studies for successful 510K clearance, and then declaration of conformity with recognized consensus standard, and then successful 510K clearance strategy, and then review time, fee, references, and also training program and continual learning.
Thank you, David, for the great presentation.
Thank you for your participation. I'd like to offer one big benefit that, whenever you are preparing for your 510K, if you have any question about the content, how to provide, how to put wording in your case. Thank you.
Thank you, David. So that does conclude the session for today. Thank you everyone for participating. You may all disconnect now. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you.